All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Japan. Welcome back to Cars and Metal. Today we're going to be talking about probably my favorite car that exists. It's the car that I drive. Let's check it out. So today we're going to be talking about my favorite Japanese car, probably my favorite car of all time. This is the car I drive. This is the Toyota 86, known in other countries as the Toyota GT86, previously known in America as a Scion FRS. Although that was also kind of a downgraded car. It was a little bit different. That's okay. I really love this car, and there's many reasons why I do. I've owned a ton of different cars over time, ones with a lot more power, ones a lot more expensive, etc., etc. And this is still my favorite car. Let's get down to why. The biggest, most important reason for it is what I think, if you're a driver, if you love driving, this is the #1 reason you should own a car. Because it's fun. This car can put a smile on my face every time I drive. This car is just a blast to drive. It puts a smile on your face no matter what you're doing, except for maybe sitting at a stoplight or something like that. The driving feel of a car is the most important thing when you're driving and you actually love driving. So I'm not the only person to think this. Everyone loves Top Gear, and the Stig from the American Top Gear recently drove the Toyota 86 back to back with the new Toyota Supra. And while he said that the new Toyota Supra is an amazing car and a better car in many respects to this car, it drives faster, it's got much better lap times, it's really more of a professional car. He said he prefers the platform and the frame on the Toyota 86 because it's just more engaging and fun to drive. I can't argue with that. I 100% agree. If you live near the mountains, like I do in Japan, you will never be able to have enough of a car like this. The balance and control of this chassis is something unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just incredible. Toyota wanted to make a car that was fun. They did. Toyota wanted to make a car that was usable. They did. Toyota wanted to make a car that was the best of everything a car lover could want. To me, they did. And unfortunately, they weren't able to make a car that could clear traffic. But that's all right. If you're a car enthusiast and you love driving, and I don't just mean you love power, you love driving, the whole experience. There are no other cars I can think of, especially in this price range, that can be usable as a daily driver completely like this car can, and give you as much fun as this car can on any drive, whether it be your drive to work, your drive to the supermarket, your drive to your friend's house. The looks, it just has classic, amazing sports car looks and proportions that I think are going to be timeless. I love looking at this thing. That's probably never going to end. Next is the functionality of the car. It's designed to be a daily use car. It's got storage to spare. They made sure that when you fold down the rear seats, which just takes the touch of 2 little buttons, you can fit 4 full-size tires in here for a track day or something like that. Now, most people measure space in a car by golf bags. 4 tires is bigger than many golf bags. It's got tons of storage. Now, I mentioned it has back seats. Most car reviewers will say, it's got back seats, but you can only put small children back there, you know. Full-size adults just don't fit. I disagree. I put full-size adults in the backseat of this car many times with another full-size adult sitting right in front of them. Now, is it super comfortable? No, But the majority of the time someone's sitting back there, it's for short trips anyways. You're not going like 5 hours away. So it's fine, perfectly fine. Let's see me get into the back seats. Are they super comfortable? Maybe not. But are they usable? Sure. Can they only fit small children? And no. I am now in the back seat. I'm going to adjust the front seat to crush me. No. To a comfortable position. So I'm sitting in the back seat. My head does hit the glass, but I'm still actually sitting up pretty well. You can see I'm in. Do need to actually keep your knees spread to really let the seat come back, but when you do let the seat come back, I want to show you this. The front seat is actually back and is in a reclined position. So if the front seat passenger is in this car, I can sit in the back. I'm 180 centimeters tall, so I'm like 5'11". I don't really have a problem with it. Now, yeah, if this was a really long car ride, if I was going to be back here for, I don't know, a few hours, that might be uncomfortable. So as you can see, they work really well. The other thing is the interior of this car. I love the front seats. They hold you really well. They're super comfortable. It's one of the biggest things that I loved about this car when I first got into it. Steering wheel is awesome. The positioning of everything's amazing. And one thing that people love to talk about on new car reviews is infotainment systems. This car still has a double DIN stereo. That means you can change it to have anything you want. You can't do that with many cars these days. Now, in Japan, we're kind of lucky because when you buy a car that has a double DIN or something like that, it actually comes with no stereo. That's just a blank space. But the car dealers will give you options of what you want. That means you never have to have that really cheap stereo that the car manufacturer gives you, like a Toyota branded one. No. We can choose anything we want from the dealer, like some high-end Pioneer one or whatever brand name one, and they install it. They can even upgrade the speakers, all that kind of stuff, right at the dealer before you even take ownership of the car. But either way, in other countries, just getting a new double DIN, if you get this car and you're like, oh, it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, or it doesn't have this, or it doesn't have that. You know what inexpensive, really nice car stereos are? You can just get one, pop this one out, put the other one in. You really want better sound? Pull the speakers out, put new ones in. Really easy to do, really inexpensive, and you can make this stereo just awesome. So, huge plus to me for that one. I love the inside of this car. It's comfortable, it's functional, great for daily driving, even for family use. It's just awesome. And because of the price and what you can do with it, the value you get from a vehicle like this is unparalleled, especially because it's a Toyota. Now, it has a Subaru engine, but both of these companies are really known for their reliability. So that's another huge value point. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the thing everyone's always thinking when they think about this car. It doesn't have any power, it's slow. Okay. So the president of Toyota wanted to make sure that this car is very accessible to the aftermarket. What that means is thinking about the things that the aftermarket normally changes first. When you want to modify your car, what are the first things you always change? Well, those things, they either just got off the shelf from another car and threw it in there to save money, or they spent pretty much no time and no money to research and develop that part of the car, which meant that the one that's in the car is just cheap. But that's okay, because most people are going to change it anyways. Taking that into account, it's got only 200 horsepower, but many sports cars with similar power are faster. Why? This car is notorious for its torque dip right in the middle of the power range. The torque just drops and comes back up. That's mostly because the exhaust manifold, the headers that are on the car are just cheap. And the car is not tuned properly to work with them. I mean, it might be for certain ways of driving the car in normal everyday driving, but not the way us drivers really want it to work. Pretty much any aftermarket header that you put on this car with a tune will immediately eliminate that torque dip and give you a power boost. Just gone. Meaning the engine doesn't have a torque dip. It's not like a big problem in the car. It's easily solved with your choice of header, which they can all sound different, they can all feel different. So back down to that customization fact that this car has got. Another thing is the way that the car delivers power to the road. The gearing in the actual transmission is fine, but the differential is just taken off the shelf from another car and thrown in here. That means that the final drive ratio is just not high enough for the gears on this car. And when they did the facelift in 2017, you can see that Toyota realized this, because on the manual, they raised the final drive from 4.1 to 4.3. They didn't touch it on the automatic though. The thing is, that's not high enough really. On the manual, you should probably go up to a 4.56. On the automatic, you should probably go to a 4.88, because the automatic, again, was just taken from another car and thrown in here. So it's not geared the best. Though I will say the automatic is actually awesome. It is one of the best automatic transmissions I've ever driven, and the paddles shift gears amazingly. So if you were just to change those headers and change that final drive, you're probably not going to complain about the power of this car anymore. It's plenty fast enough, except for one little thing. Probably the most important thing to put power down to the road: your tires. This thing has Toyota Prius tires. Yeah, now we always have to change our tires anyways, so when you do have to change your tires, please put on proper sport tires. Once you do that, it will just transform the car and make it drive on a new level. And it can put the power down to the road, no problem. Those things are really inexpensive to do with this car. Under $3,000, you can do all that pretty much any way you want, which is awesome because the car is already inexpensive. So if you take that into account, it's pretty good value there. This car stock may not have the go that you really want, but it's not hard to give it that. What this car does have though, without any modifications, without anything, is the handling. It has the most perfect handling of pretty much any car. Now you got to consider that these cars right now on the used market, for a pretty good one, you're looking from, I don't know, $15,000 to $20,000. $15,000 to $20,000 for a car that out of the box will be one of the most fun you have ever had in a vehicle. Not to mention it is comfortable and it is nice in here. And if you're willing to spend just a little bit to modify it, even just $2,000, this car can become a beast. For probably under $20,000 total still. The balance of this car is just to die for. I love it. Again, being in Japan, we've got these kind of twisty, turny, windy roads all over the place. So, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Make it turn blue for me, because that's what the YouTube algorithm really loves. And subscribe. If you like cars, you like Japan, you like metal, you're gonna love this channel. Subscribe, come back for more content, and share this video with your friends so they can enjoy the fun too. We'll see you next time.